Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Welcome to the Pink Room, a space where we keep it real and raw so we can heal and grow. It's your girl Chi, and I feel like I'm not the only one that has been through the grief of making mistakes, the shame of dealing with the consequences of your mistakes. And having to just process through that journey, having to walk through that journey it can be hard. It can be frustrating. You literally go through the stages of grief, I believe, when you are trying to forgive yourself. It's like a death that you've experienced of what could have been had you made this choice or followed this particular path. But you have to forgive yourself. You have to. You made the choices that you made at that time because that's where you were at the time. That was the wisdom that you had. That was the place you were at mentally, emotionally, spiritually that allowed you to make that decision, make those choices, follow that path. And that's just that. You have to give yourself grace for who you were at one point that you may not be anymore, or that you outgrew, or you healed from, whatever that may be. But you can't continue to sit in regret, sit in shame, sit in self-blame, in self-pity. Like, it's not going to do nothing for you but keep you down. You have to forgive yourself. Acknowledge where you're at. Acknowledge the pain. You have to walk through the stages of grief. You have to go through that denial of, my life isn't really what's happening because of this choice or this mistake or this path that I took. You have to go through the stage of bargaining and trying to break things out, or trying to figure out if there's a way you can turn back time. You have to go through the anger. You have to go through the depression of loss or sorrow or regret or shame. All of that, you have to walk through that. And then you get to a place where you just accept it. You accept that this is what has happened. This is what has resulted in these choices, in this mistake, in this path, whatever. But I don't have to be defined by it. I don't have to be held back by it. I don't have to stay down because of it. I could recognize that I did the best that I could with the information that I had at that time, with where I was at mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, all of that. But today is a new day, and I'm a new being every single day. I'm not who I was yesterday. I'm not who I was 5 minutes ago. I'm not who I was when I made that mistake, that choice, that decision. Because at that time, I thought, you thought, whatever. I thought it was the best decision at that time. And then you grow, you evolve, and you realize, you know what, I could have made a better decision. I could have went about that a different way. And of course, shame, guilt, regret tries to creep up and hold you hostage. It tries to overtake you to the point where you feel so debilitated and paralyzed, you feel like you can't move forward. But I'm here to tell you, you do not have to let that hold you back. That's not a God. That's the enemy trying to keep you from moving forward, because now you have this awareness and this wisdom and this knowledge, that what I call light, that will help you move forward. But the enemy don't want that. He don't want you to move forward. He wants you to stay stuck. But I'm telling you today, choose to move forward, even if it's hard, even if it's difficult, even if you feel like you don't deserve it, or you don't feel worthy of it, or you feel like you've messed up too much that you can't, that's the past. You can't change it. You can't fix it. The only way you can fix and change whatever you feel on the inside is if you move forward with the truth and the knowledge that you have now. That's it. Forgive yourself, love. You have to. You have to.